The more you approve of your own decisions in life, the less you feel the need to have them approved by others. Welcome back, guys. Today we have another special guest straight from Singapore. I met him a couple of years ago when I visited him in Singapore. We did a quick photo shoot, and then we also grabbed a dinner with another customer of ours that lives in Singapore. So, TC, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yeah, good. You know what's the amazing thing? Maybe I didn't say this beforehand. Like because the first time where we connected, I thought you were a scam because because you were calling from Slovenia. I was like, is this is this right? Like Slovenia? I was like, oh man, like is it like some kind of Nigerian, type of scam thing and all that? But then when we had Zoom and then when we talked through Zoom, and all that, then everything worked out. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
but it was amazing how like from Singapore all the way to the Balkans, which is like in Slovenia, like we are working together. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty amazing actually.
Yeah, and from our connection, you started working with the Berg composites as well, which you got the first saddle I think you got was the Dila, is the product, and now you have the new saddle, so the monocoque on your bike, and how would you compare those two saddles?
Okay, for everyone, right, like I have been using physics for the longest period of time. Like from the day I started riding, I'm a person who, if it works, like I won't change the equipment that I use.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been using the Arione for like for what 8 9 years. So probably like it took me like a lot before I would say like, oh, I want to change an equipment, like especially like things like a saddle. So first time I got this. So like what you say, like, I don't think it's clear, but it's the bulk dealer. Um, I've been using it for 2 years, and then it worn out. So I think basically there's a bit of humidity and in Singapore, and then you have to take really good care of your equipment, especially in Singapore, else the things wear out really fast. So in comparison, right, like when I switched to the dealer, it was really fast. Like I got really comfortable with the saddle. I'm not speaking to a standpoint where like dealer gave us these saddles to try. Or when you talk to equipment, especially in saddles, you are talking like you are sitting on this carbon for like 4 hours, 5 hours. It's not something like you will enjoy if something is not comfortable, right? Like even though if it's a sponsored item. Um yeah, like I've been using it like straight away on the get-go. I got really used to how comfortable it was. Like the dealer itself, like I think I've been using it, yeah, especially I said 2 years. Um, Getting used to it wasn't an issue. I did long rides, I did sprints, all that, and it's amazing how like light it is. Like it's just like
Mm-hmm.
complete. When I hold it, I thought it was plastic, like that, and then like oh shit, like is it gonna even withstand my weight? Like I'm like 70 kilos and it's so thin. Like like it's that thin. Yeah, that it was amazing. Like how it feels like it's not like really padded. If you like, it's not like
Yeah. Yep.
squishy padding, and then it's like
Mm-hmm.
yeah sitting on this, but the contour and everything like it really fits my butt really well. So when I changed to the bulk, the monocoque one. So if you guys, if anyone else were to see it up in person, it looks like a freaking spaceship. I can't like sit on my bike right now, but I probably could show some photos of it. Or if you can even just go to the website and take a look. It looks like a spaceship. But so I've been using it for two rides at the moment, and it's all long rides, so like probably 4 or 5 hours on it. So I did like two 5 hour rides like on it. The main difference, right, I could say right now is so if you look at this, if you compare to the book dealer, I think it's a bit higher. So I have to like
Mm-hmm.
switch out my seat post a bit, so I have to like shift it a bit. I was like, I will realize that I'm a bit higher at the moment. Otherwise, besides that, right, like it has been pretty comfortable. Um, yeah, like the make of it is it's really really well made. I mean, when you compare to like one piece type of thing, it's like amazing how when I first took it out of the thing, right, it looks really amazing. Yeah, out of the bag itself, lah. So I think right now I don't have an issue. Like the main issue was like just that small thing where it's a bit higher than the rest. Else
Mm-hmm.
it works like how it works. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so first thing, if you guys like the channel, like, subscribe, share the video, it really helps the channel a lot. And now let's start. So you're from Singapore. You started your own team 2 years ago. Now, how when I visited Singapore, I was really impressed on the whole cycling scene, especially the coffee shops, stuff like that. I think it's really good. In Slovenia, we don't really have that as much. So how's the cycling scene been developing in Singapore? Do you think it's growing? Because I think you guys have like every year you have so many new cyclists joining the team.
Okay, so the cycling scene in Singapore has always been there, especially I think it peaked during the COVID period, since
mm-hmm.
we have a lot of new COVID cyclists. Um, so like there was like exponential growth from there. Then I think it picked up from there. Now it's like pretty like this, but we still see like there's a lot of new brands that's coming up. The cycling scene, like we do see like there's a lot more events now at the moment. Yeah, so right now, like the market itself, although we could say like it's a bit stagnant, but I think from the time where COVID started and all that, we see the exponential boom lah. Yeah.
Okay. When I was there and we did a photo shoot, you took me to one climb, which is pretty much the only hill that you guys have, right?
You were so not impressed, right? I can imagine your face like, the shit, this is it. Like, yeah, this is it. Like, we do this like we loop there like 20 times. Like, yeah. So Singapore, I mean to the viewers out there, we are like a pretty small area. Like if we were to do like a loop in Singapore, it's like probably 130 km. That's how small we are. Yeah, so if you were to have elevation, so mainly there's like pretty much Singapore is pretty flat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like if we have like a hill or we need to do trainings in the hill, we have to keep looping the same area just to get elevation going. So yeah. So I could imagine like when I tell you that, oh, this is our highest point. You'd be like, okay, like in Slovenia, right? Like there's more to it than this. I'm like, yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, in Singapore,
so
like we go to other places. So we go to Malaysia a lot, like to get our training
Mm-hmm.
done, our rides done as well. I mean, we do like have rides here in Singapore, but it's easy for us to go across the border to do more things. Mm.
yeah, because when I walked up that hill, I think the walk was maybe 10 minutes. So maybe people from here can figure it out. But it was, what is it, a 2 kilometer climb or is it less?
2 kilometers.
Yeah, it's about there. It's about 2 kilometers.
Yeah, so that's the only climb to train on. But the scenery, it's really amazing. Probably up there with some nice sunset or sunrises. It's, yeah, probably a yeah, a really really picturesque viewing the Singapore city. It's really amazing. And When do you guys usually go out on a ride? What's the time? Because it's really humid, it's really hot.
Like about 5 a.m., 6 a.m. And then if
Okay.
it's just nice where the cafe is open, we do usually on the weekends we do a longer ride. So it'll be like a 4 hour thing. When we finish the 4 hours, usually it's like a base ride or zone two, zone three type of ride. After that, grab a cup of coffee, have some brekkie. We either stop by a cafe to have some breakfast, and then
Okay.
that will end our ride. Then
Did you visit it? You know the cyclist that we went together for the that lunch dinner, Alap. He just opened up the cafe as well. I'm not sure. Did you visit his or no?
what's the cafe name? Because sometimes if I go there and he's not there, then I'm not that sure.
I'm not sure what's the name. I just know that he opened up a cafe shop. So yeah, I'm not sure what's the name.
I'm not that sure as well because I think so in Singapore itself, I mean amazingly we are small, but when you are over there, there's a lot of cycling cafes, like what you say, there's cycling cafes, like we have concept stores here. We have the
Mm-hmm.
track concept store, we have a specialized concept store, we have Rafa, we have Map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like for a small place, right? Like we do have like big brands coming in. We have Conago, we have like a giant, we have a shop that sells giant bikes as well. So yeah, it's really amazing like how a small country itself have all these brands.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When I visited you guys, I thought that there's a lot of stores in a really small place. But yeah. So how's the team been going? Where are you guys racing? What are the countries that you're racing in?
So um so 2 years ago, I think when we met, we did a lot of races. We were a new team lah. I mean, we had like probably eight or less, seven people. But because of our work commitments and all that, we were pretty spread out. We didn't really have much focus on the local races. We went out to Malaysia, some of us went to Thailand, so we were very well spread out. Like we have one or two person in somewhere in Indonesia, one or two person, or one person in some part of Malaysia. So I think we were too saturated. So this year we kind of grew a bit and I decided to have more focus in Singapore. Like although the racing scene is much lesser, but I feel that if everyone is in Singapore and then we can race as a team in Singapore, we have our a better foundation, then that's where where we can start focusing on. Amazingly, this year we raced in a team setting locally. We venture off with a lot of things like track cycling. We did triathlon events, the PTO, and then we have riders like doing like track cycling, fixed gear criteriums. So amazingly, although we are in the local scene, like we have spread off that much, we have gained more exposure from there.
Okay. So what are some like the bikes that you guys are riding? Because when I was in Singapore, I just remember a lot of like crazy color scheme kits, but regarding the bikes, like from what I remember, there are a lot of high end bikes in Singapore.
the as I said, right, we are a small country. You'll be amazed. We have all these brands coming in. So when we were doing the individual time trial or the national road races, you see the bikes out there. They are so damn decked out. There are cyclists riding factor bikes decked out. Like, like we have all the Princeton wheels and all that. The up and coming SL8s. They see people riding with that. crazy color schemes, team bikes, the Boa bikes. I saw people riding in the Red Bull bikes, Shift TT bikes, specced out with aero coach bars and all that, like use and Pinarello, Bonides. My God, like when you were seeing like I mean I do comparison with Malaysia races and the Europe, like I follow some Europe races um which are not pro level races, and you see the equipment they use and compare them to like the ones that we use in Singapore. It's like night and day. Like, yeah, it's amazing how much we are willing to spend like with equipment here in Singapore. Like, it's amazing. Mm.
Yeah. And regarding the riders, from which country like the best cyclists are coming from? So you mentioned Indonesia, so Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia. Is there like a more cycling nation that's a lot of cyclists that like better cyclists are coming from, or it's pretty mixed?
It makes I just saying, but the other countries out there, I mean, we don't have like a Conti team here. Like we used to have one, but they shut down like probably quite a lot of years back. But when you go to areas like in Malaysia, like you have two or three Conti teams. Like Indonesia, they have one. Thailand, they have like probably one or two or three. I mean, they do have like level like riders on that level. So when it comes to strong riders, like yeah, like we have all these Southeast Asia countries where they are really up there. Like they are doing this as a full-time job. Like the
Okay.
riders here, we don't really have any riders who are they are doing this as like don't have anyone that's doing it as full-time. Like usually they
Okay.
have their own career out there, and then like they're just doing this as like a sideline.
Yeah. And are there like any, because from Asia there's a lot of new bikes that are coming out. Um, are there like any bikes that you see on the road that you see, oh, that looks amazing, and you don't even know what it is? Because I think in Europe here mostly like are those renowned brands. So from Specialized to Colnago, Pinarello, stuff like that. And I think in Asia there are a lot of like new up and coming brands that nobody's talking about. So did you hear about anything? What do you like?
Okay, there's not really okay. So I know these bikes out there. It's not like the one thing in Singapore or in Southeast Asia, they are willing to explore um things from China. They are willing to explore things from Southeast Asia. So yeah, so we had this conversation once where it was really interesting. Where they just came out this model, Seka Spear.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, this model, so Seka itself, like I think, I mean, it is pretty popular here as well. I mean, when it comes to Chinese frames, when I think I'm really interested to know how the Seka Spear is going to be like, because they did a collaboration with Aero Coach. It's amazing how like these type of brands are willing to collab with aerodynamic brands like this, like Aero Coach, or like just to name that. So yeah, like I will be really interested to see how that goes.
And
And you as well. I mean, like you ventured with Niche,
yeah.
the Thailand brand.
Yeah, we will hop on to them as well. But uh, th- tell me first, are you guys, so cyclists from Asia, are you more interested in bikes that are coming from Asia, or do you like what the pros are using? So you mostly, especially if you can afford them, just buy those bikes that the pro teams are using.
There's a few train of thought here. In Singapore, I think there are a few people who like to flip bikes. You know, like I tried a Specialized, okay, I got bored of it. I want to try a Conago now. So,
Mhm.
a lot of people are like to buy Specialized track, Pinarellos, cause it's easier to flip. Like in Singapore, like
Mhm.
it's easier to like, oh, if I want to resell it, like I'm able to resell it. Whereas if I use like a Chinese brand, or even like bikes like TCR, they are renowned, but like it's a bit difficult for them to flip.
Mhm.
So from my point
Yeah.
of view, I feel that if a World Tour team uses it or a Conti team uses it, or I know they are sponsored and all, but if they could use those bikes and race on a pro level, on a Conti level, right? To me, I think that says a lot. Like I've been using the Lapierre Zelius, for a year now. At that time, the FDJ was using it, and the FDJ team was using it, and for that price point, where I got it at 5,000 Sing dollars. Maybe in Europe, it's if I convert it back to euros, like it's the high 3,000s or the 4,000 euros. It's a pretty good price point, I should say. Like if let's say I were to use a bike that is used on a world tour level, it gives a lot of confidence that if I were to use it, like I know that, or I'm using like probably one of the better bikes out there, lor. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, well, I would suggest you a different bike when we talked. I know I suggested you some other bikes as well, but I'm happy that you're happy with the bike. So that's the 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 big thing that matters. Uh, so you guys right now, so you only have the Lapierre, right? And you have
Yeah, I only have the Lapierre. Yeah, at the moment.
And the guys from your team also ride triathlons and velodrome and stuff like that.
So we talk about velodrome. I don't even have experience in it. I don't lah, basically. I know velodrome races, but when you talk to me about equipment or what they use, I don't know how much it costs. Then when I went to search and I went to read up and went to watch the Olympics and all that, right? Damn, their like frame cost more than my road bike. Like the frame itself, right? Like what they use on the Olympic level cost like it's all 5 digit and above.
Yeah.
Like I mean like you're talking about Olympics, which is fine. But if you're talking about the same sport where there's Olympic road cycling, there's Olympic time trial as well. But when you're talking to equipment where there's no gears, like there's no like
Mm-hmm.
Di2, it's just like you're just running one gear. Man, their things are freaking expensive. Like their things are like way off the charts. Like
Yeah.
the wheels itself, they're all everything is like 5 digit lah. Like basically, like
Mm-hmm.
the wheels itself is crazy expensive. So we are sponsored by Victoria, the distributor in Singapore. So I was asking them for velodrome tires, like the pista tires. It's more expensive than the what the Victoria Pros is, like like those tires like Vinegar
Yeah.
and all, they're using that. But on the velodrome, like it's like probably uh like at least 40 to 50 euros more expensive per tire. And I'm not even talking about
Mm.
the ones that are like at the ones that they use in the Olympics. That's like another price on its own. So it's amazing how in the realm of track cycling, right, how crazy expensive those things are, lor. Yeah.
Yep. Right now, you guys have a. Was the criterium in Singapore from the UCI, was it done already or it's coming up?
No, it's coming up, but I don't think they are UCI sanctioned. So it's like the Tour de France criterion.
Yeah.
It's basically for all the professionals to come down and then like gain exposure on road cycling for on the pro level. We get world tour teams coming. They're just, I mean, it's not the full setup, but then we have all the big names coming down. We have Mark Cavendish coming down. Pogacar came last year. I don't think he's coming this year. We have
I
uh
think Roglic is coming. I think Roglic is coming, or at least he was in Japan, so I think Roglic is coming to Singapore as well.
yeah. Maybe I could get him on the podcast, hopefully. Hey, say I have booked. I have so many Slovenian friends. Like if they know like, hey, I'm part
Yeah.
Slovenian, Yeah. But I think the main highlight will be Mark Cavendish. I think this will be his last race.
Mhm.
Last race. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there will be a big, it's quite a big thing that he can come as well. Since it's
So the race is what, in 10 days?
no, like probably this weekend.
Ah, okay. So in a couple of days. Nice. Okay, so hello. This year I contacted you for a new bike brand. So I wanted you guys to let me know what are some new bikes coming out from Asia, and one bike brand was the Sika Sphere, which you already mentioned, which the bike looks really amazing, and then it was that luxury project that we had. So the niche bike brand, I connected with them. You suggested them to me, and yeah, when I rode them, it's an amazing bike. So I wanted to thank you in let's say person for connecting or for finding that brand. I'm going to visit Thailand in, yeah, just a couple of months now. Gonna do a video with the team, and yeah, so hopefully it's amazing. So how, I asked you that earlier, but why aren't you guys riding more of the Asian bike brands? Is it just because, like you mentioned earlier, you just want to flip the bikes, so you ride them for 1 year and then just buy something else the next year, or is there like a premium quality of riding, let's say a Pinarello, which is like the high end, let's say Dogma F. Why aren't you guys riding more like the Asian bike brands?
I think like how it is in Europe as well. I think a lot of people don't really recognize the brands like that. I don't even say like Asian bike brands. Like if I were to tell people like I'm riding a Lapierre, it's not like it's Lapierre has been around for like ages. I mean it's not like a new bike brand or what. It appeared on like Tour de France, it's in the Giro and all that, but I nobody seems to recognize the brand. Like if I were to write out the bike, everyone would think it's a boutique brand, but it's not. I just say like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's that's how it is in Singapore. Like like they are very they know the popular brands, and again like yeah, like what I said, like probably they want to at some point they want to resell, like they want to sell. If like they want to sell the bike, they'll know like oh people will recognize the brand like specialized or what. So I think that's the main thing here in Singapore. There is like there are few people who don't mind trying because again it's the budget, right? It's the price point. For Asian bike brands itself, they are very competitive. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
riders don't mind buying it because oh it's within my budget. I don't care whether it flips or not, but the price point is good. Like the is decked out with a good group set. I'm not paying extravagant price for that. I don't mind trying. So yeah, we do have a good group like that, but lah that like the minor is basically the minority.
Okay. So if you had an unlimited budget for a new bike, what would you buy?
Damn. I was looking at this frame for the longest period of time. Is standard?
Yep.
Yeah. So I was like looking, there are the team frames and all that are are legit nice. Like even those bikes in like the alloy ones. But again, like, will I even pay for the price for that? Like, it's aluminium. I know they do have the carbon version, but again, it's still pretty pricey. But when it comes to like the colorway, for me, it's just all about paint job lah. I think you know, right? When you get the niche, I'm like, shit. I know the bike is good and all that, but got to look nice for the like it has to look good. So for
Yeah.
me, it's on the paint job. Yeah. So if I have like an unlimited amount of money, right, that would be my so-called like the bike I would go to lah. Yeah.
Then you just need to sell the Lapierre and just let me hook you up with one of the niche frames, and you're all set.
Okay. To be fair, right, if you didn't ask me to search for the Asian counterpart frame, and I didn't get my Lapierre, I would have gotten the niche. Cause again, right, like I mean it ticks everything, right? I mean like the price is good. A Conti team uses it, it's up there. You get like a wicked paint job. And then like for the Lapierre, I have to go all the way to Kuala Lumpur. Like I still have to fly over there to get that frame, and I still got to lug it back and then fix it up. Whereas like if it's in Thailand, it's still not that bad. Like and yeah, oh, I could actually got it in Singapore. So yeah, like, but the thing is, like you, I don't change my bikes a lot. Like I really trash the frame until like it's to a point I can't use it anymore. Yeah, so I'm sticking to my bike for a bit. But if let's say if my bike, like if I touch wood, lose my bike, I'll probably get a niche bike like for the next 5 months.
And can you let me know when you're buying a bike in Singapore, do you have all the adjustments? Are there possible like to say, okay, I want a 120 stem, 38 centimeters handlebar, I want this sprocket in the back, I want the length of the crankset, I don't know, 170. Is that possible, or is just like the bike that it's in the catalog and you just have to use that?
Yeah, usually it's like that. Like I don't think so. The only okay, so for Malaysia, should I say it in Singapore as well? The only thing I think you can change is the group set. Like if they have spares, like if let's say I want this frame, I like the colorway, but it comes with a 105, but I want the Ultegra. So maybe they would consider, oh, okay, I'll change it, but then the price won't be at that price. I would have to
Yeah.
charge you more. So when you talk about that, then yes, we don't have that option where because a medium it comes with like 100 stamp. Then okay, then that's it. And then with the trend now, everything's integrated. That's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like like they already have that. Like if you were to have that setup with medium, okay, it comes with a 90 stamp with a 40 width. So it's pretty much settled. Like any changes you have to come up from your own pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing I like with the niche, because everything is customizable. So the handlebar, the stem length, which bar tape you wanna use, I don't know, cranksets, stuff like that. So yeah, no, only it depends on the store and the dealers, but Colnago and Pinarello, usually the stores will switch it for you in most cases, but other bike shops usually just whatever it comes, and then you need to then they will upcharge you if you want to change the saddle, stuff like that. So yeah, it's usually Pinarello and Colnago, I think in Slovenia, are the most, let's say, customer friendly options, and especially the German brands and the American brands, I think mostly it's only what comes on the bike, and then you can change it for the upcharge. So it's yeah, so that's why I think with niche everything is whatever you like, we put on. So that's for our customers, that's like a really huge bonus. So because then you get the bike that you really want, and yeah,
But
it's
how's the
decked out.
reception of it in Slovenia or Europe? Like when it comes to, we don't talk about Chinese brands lah, but obviously this brand is from Thailand. Like
Yeah.
how do they receive it? Like do they feel mm, like it's not better than other brands? I'm not willing to try it out or
In I think in Europe, pretty much all of the Asian brands are considered as like Chinese knockoffs or something like that. So I think that started to change like a couple of years ago, because there's a lot of cyclists trying out new stuff that is coming from Asia, and I think we need to separate the, let's say, the knockoffs and then the brands that are coming from Asia. And the brands that are coming from Asia, some are really really good, and compared for the price, what product you are getting, I think some of the European brands are really scared of what's coming, because a lot of Asian companies are, especially from that entry level to mid level range, they offer a good quality product that it's in a lot of cases similar or maybe even better than, let's say, the 2-3 times more expensive product that it's let's say coming from Europe, but we all know most of them are made in Asia. So uh, it's yeah, I think if we would just write a different label on the bike or uh, the wheels or whatever, so it wouldn't say that it's, let's say, some Asian brand, that it's a European brand, I think you could sell it for 1 to 2 times more the price that it's selling, and it would sell, especially like here, and I think it would sell even better in Asia as well, because I think also your market, it's really, they're looking for the best products in the world, like the buying power is really good, so they can afford the high end high end bikes. And yeah, when I think when you have the company that it's considered as high end and coming from Asia, I think that company will be one of the biggest companies in cycling for the, yeah, for the next couple of decades, for sure. But I think you just need to go into the one of the pro teams, and once that is done, I think yeah, we will see some big companies coming out of Asia.
I was like looking at those China bike shows, like the things they do. Like I think GCN also cover it. So like China, Taiwan, right? Like the things they do is out of this world. Like if
Mhm.
if it were, I mean the technology wise and all that, like they are using for frames. Like, I always see like what they 3D print stuff and um like some of the tech out there, right? Like which maybe Europe they haven't really discovered. They are already doing it. So it's amazing
Mm.
how well advanced they are. Yeah.
Yeah. I listened to one podcast, and I think it's pretty similar to cycling niche as well. I think in Europe everything takes time. I think in China, because they work like probably 2-3 times more hours per week than in Europe, I think everything is just made so much faster. So you make mistakes faster, and then you also fix those mistakes faster, and then you have a better product at the end. So yeah, I think the depends on the tariffs and stuff like that, because I know for niche we're paying a crazy amount for, let's say, import tax and the shipping and stuff like that. So yeah, if those costs would be lower, yeah, I think the brands like niche and some other brands will blossom here in Europe, because the bike, it's, yeah, in my opinion, it's really good, especially for the price. It's yeah, it's pretty amazing. So let's go back to the team. How many times per week do you guys go out on a ride? And training wise, do you have a trainer, or how does everything works in your team?
Okay, so the serious ones, right? They have their own coach. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't have a centralized coach. Like I do help out to coach some of the juniors or all those who just started like racing. So I help them out a bit. But for the rest, right, they would have their own coaches already. So like on training peaks. Um so on a weekly basis, right, like I would organize a few smash rides, a few group training sessions, technical sessions. Then on the weekend I would have like a long base ride. It's more for everyone, like it's a 4 hour base ride, and it's just for people to catch up and get good mileage in. So yeah, so mainly it's like that. Like but if you're talking about training together and all that, but because everyone is on different schedules, it's very hard for me to like, like we have everyone to come together on like a few days. So I just set up like a day or two, a day for gym, a day for a smash session or technical drill session, and on the weekends a long ride.
Okay.
So I think it covers a lot because the gym sessions, I think the track side of it would help a lot. And the technical drills are basically really to help out those who like who want to be more comfortable with the bike handling and all kind of things lah. Yeah. So that's how, like, on a weekly basis how we go. Yeah.
Okay.
And what are your goals for the season coming up and the next season? What are the goals for the team?
So now we down season now. So the mission statement is always the same, where we want to get together, we want to have fun racing together, we want to experience, we want to be a platform for new riders and all that to experience racing. The difference right now is we have a few riders who are stronger, who can compete for honors, like, a national title, some key races in Malaysia type of thing. So we started like a small elite group. We also venture out to track cycling, as I said. But it's really, really new track cycling and fixed gear criteriums. So that will be something new in 2025. We have already started, but then probably we get a bit more serious in next year. We also venture out with triathlon. But that's also pretty new. We have a few triathletes who are like Ironman, those who do half Ironman, they qualified for the world champs at the year end. Then they use like whatever triathlon events that we have in Singapore to prepare for that. So yeah, like we covered quite a lot of grounds, but I don't see ourselves like doing BMX and this type of thing. But mainly these three things lah. I mean, we can, like, whoever wants to try things that are different, they can switch around. So
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's the fun part, I guess. Like, we are always trying to do something different. So 2025, I think that will be it. Like the new things that we want to try, lor. Yeah.
So for 2025, you guys can switch and uh, from the flat roads in Singapore, you can come to Slovenia and for like 14 days and train with us on some mountain roads.
Malaysian group, right? And they are not like they're not competitive lah. And I think they do have affiliations with the Gusto. There's a Gusto team, right? So I think they have some affiliations with Gusto, and they get to do a Grand Fondo there. Man, they got butchered damn hard. I was like looking at the rides, and then like it's I think they were doing it in winter or something, like they were decked out with gilets, like gloves and everything.
Yeah.
And because we are in Southeast Asia where there's always sun and there's humidity, and then we go there and then like everything is so damn cold. I was like, damn, like too hardcore lah. I think like if I were to go there, I would like suffer like crazy there. And not to think about the elevation, like the elevation here, we don't like on a good day if we have like 1,000 meter elevation, out of like a long ride, it's a win. But there, like like the climbs are crazy there. So I mean, would love to try, but again, like it's really so far out. Like damn, like you traveling already. Like here is already so far. Imagine like the amount of preparation I have to like the bike and the things I have to prepare over there. Yeah.
Yeah, you would need to come for like at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, that would be like a honeymoon for me and my wife already. Like I would probably get killed. Like 2 weeks and then of riding. Yeah, but true. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been thinking of yeah just putting some like 10-day cycling trip together just here in Slovenia or in Croatia, and like to have a masseuse and the chef and everything and the service guy just all there. So hopefully for next year I can do that. I can organize that, and yeah, hopefully everything goes according to plan. So yeah, you would need to come as well.
So I mean like okay, so I mean I would love to come lah, seriously. I mean like I haven't been to Europe before. Like you came
Mhm.
over to Southeast Asia for me, right? Because of the amount of time I need to spend flying over, in the end, like for any holiday trip, I'll just end up in Japan. Cause like, okay, it's just 6 hours, like oh, it's 7 hours. I can't deal with anything more like 10 hours. Like so yeah, I think that would be like a main hurdle for me, like just going to Europe. Not even talking about riding, but just going to Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The transfers and everything. It's yeah. I think last time that I went from Singapore back, I think it was altogether. It was probably around 20 22 hours. Like yeah, I think Dubai or Istanbul. I can't remember, but yeah, no, I think it was in Istanbul because I remember those guys without the hair walking around the airport. So yeah, it was Istanbul. But yeah, the traveling is pretty. It's bad for one day, but once you come, it's yeah, it's going to be amazing.
I mean, it has to be worth it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have a question on my end. I mean, it's not going to do with racing and all that lah. It's more of how a proof is. Okay, so before that, right? I mean, I'm going to say this again. I've been using this helmet, and this helmet was given by you for the day you came, and then you see how better it is because I've been using it ever since you got me. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just going to go in there. The helmet itself is pretty comfortable. Like it's very Asian fit, and I mean, I don't think you can see it, but there's a lot of good
Yeah, there's a
padding
lot of holes.
and yeah, the ventilations are pretty amazing. Like, yeah, it's a bit hard for yeah. So
Mm.
I mean, like yeah, you guys are really kind enough to send us some helmets. Some of our juniors have been using it till now, along with the sunglasses as well, lah. So. Regarding on the brand of approved cycling, what is it? I mean, now it's my turn to ask you, like, what's going to be like for approved cycling for 2025?
Um, to be honest, we're doing a lot of yeah. We're trying to come up with a couple of new products, but nothing that I can say at the moment. And the biggest thing is yeah, with the Princeton wheels, it's the sales have been going great, especially here in Europe. We have a lot of those, and because price per from the price point that we are selling them, especially now on the Black Friday, you get some amazing deals. and also the niche bike brand. Yeah, I hope we can get a like the cycling culture, the community here on those bikes. We have a couple of them ordered right now for the customers. So yeah, I think if we start building with niche and then Princeton and then we have Asos and a couple of our products, yeah, I think we're on a good path because we just moved from, let's say, some office space, and now we have like a retail store kind of vibe, and we're just next to the coffee shop called Velobar, which is a cycling shop, which is a cycling cafe. So yeah, a lot of group rides start here, and yeah, there's a lot of cyclists coming here. So yeah, I think with the location move and everything, we're on the right path. And with the podcast that we run in Slovenian language weekly, those are really amazing. So yeah, we started to build. So
Talking on the podcast, you're got to do more in English. Like I've been trying like a bit hard to promote. I'm trying to promote like because to be honest, some of the podcast guests that you came is like really legit. Like I
yeah,
think you got the ethos guy to come and then you do have a lot of guests. But then
yeah,
I
a
think
lot
when
of
it comes to translation, it's a bit hard like for us English viewers like to watch the.
yeah. The I just had the mechanic from Israel Premier Tech, who is a Slovenian guy. So he was just on, I think, yeah, 2 days ago or 1 day ago. But unfortunately, it's in a Slovenian language. But he spilled some beans regarding if you listen carefully, he told, and we also do a bike presentation of all of our guests. So you need to send me your bike presentation of your bike, and I will edit it in this video as well. So yeah, we have some amazing guests, but hopefully we can get some of our pro riders on the podcast as well. But it's hard to get them there.
Pogacar, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you to invite Pogacar in.
But no, it's because we have a lot of them. It's not just Pogacar. It's Stratnik, it's Roglic, it's
Yeah.
Mohoric. There are a lot of new guys coming out. But even the new guys, the juniors, they don't respond to text messages, to Instagram DMs. So I guess I need to be a hot girl and just DM them, and maybe then they will respond. But yeah, hopefully we get them. Now it's off season, but like I said, Roglic, he's traveling in Asia. Pogacar, I'm not sure if he's back in Monaco or he's in Slovenia. So I think the best guess, the best guess for a guest would probably be Tratnik or Mizgec. So hopefully we can get those two on the podcast soon. So fingers crossed. Yeah.
English and in English. Please
Yeah,
in
that's
English.
the problem is because I don't speak like that great in English, so it's not as fluid and it's not as easy to communicate. So, and also a lot of those guys, they're not like the best speakers in English. So yeah, it's easier to do it in Slovenian language. But yeah, if we get a guest like you and the guys from Niche that I will be visiting, yeah, we will do those in English, of course.
Oh, nice. You're saying
Yeah.
the Thai team, is it like the sales team, like or the niche? You're saying like you're going to visit niche
Yep.
and probably have a interview with them. So basically the niche branding itself, or they're talking about their continental team or what?
Regarding the cycling team, I hope I get to meet at least one and we can do like a short photo shoot, but mostly with the brand I'm meeting with the brand. So yeah, if there's a cyclist there that we can shoot a video and yeah, do some photos, that would be perfect. But mostly with the brand.
Is it Chiang Mai or Bangkok? If you know.
Bangkok.
Okay. The Chiang Mai
And
cycling scene is really big, really, really, really big. Like in
yeah,
Chiang Mai, Bangkok as well, but
the
Chiang Mai is like pretty big as
yeah,
well.
and then I'm going, I think, to Hua Hin.
Okay.
It's just I think west from the east west. I think it's west from the Bangkok area. I think it's
Mhm.
2 hours drive, somewhere around that. So yeah, I'll probably be staying there for a couple of days, just ride the bike, cause I'm buying a bike over there. So a new bike
Oh
from Niche,
damn.
and then I'm
Okay.
going to ride in Asia, and then yeah, just ship it back to Slovenia with me. So yeah, it's gonna be
Nice.
pretty amazing.
Nice. Yeah. Come and visit us. Thailand and Singapore is not that far, man.
Yeah.
If I have time, like let me know the date. I don't mind going over as well. I mean like it's like
I think it's going to be around the middle of January. I'm not sure what's the date.
damn. Okay. I mean like you just let me know. I'll see what I can do. If not, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. TC, it was great talking to you again. uh, so yeah, hopefully we stay in touch and I see you in Thailand in 2 months, and we can ride together as well and do some more promotion.
All right. Okay, cool.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, enjoy. Ciao.
See you. Bye. Okay.
Okay, Anže, this is my Lapierre Zenis and it's the 2023 model. So I didn't really make much changes to the bike. I didn't do much upgrades except for the carbon rims. It's customized carbon rims and it's done by a local wheel builder. Hubs is proprietary on its own. Everything here is pretty much the same as I bought it. It is decked with Ultegra Di2. There's a power meter on there. It's a single-sided 4i power meter. And the main highlight of this is the Berg saddle. And if you look at it, it's freaking amazing. Really looks like a spaceship. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't think I have anything, outstanding on my bike. Oh, and the tires, I'm using a Vittoria Cosa Pro Control. The tires is basically used by the professionals in the Paris-Roubaix. Puncture proof. I rode on it on cobbles, on stones, rocks, and I didn't have any puncture, fingers crossed. So one last look at this beauty. Amazing how it looks, right? Yeah, I think everyone should try to get one. It's the quality of it is amazing. Yeah, and really, really well built. And it's a one-piece saddle. Yeah. So, yeah. Here is my entire bike and how it looks like. And that's about it.